Hello, hello, hello. It's another rotten week, so let's do some more coffee time. It's a bit murky again. I think we've got some of that anticyclonic gloom. It's not the middle of the night. Though it might be the middle of the night where you are, such is the time zone difference. Okay. What should we do? Of course, at the weekend, when was it? Friday night, Saturday morning, Jake Paul fought Mike Tyson. I'm going to use that as loosely as possible because I stupidly stayed up and watched it. Stupidly stayed up and watched it, and here they are hugging each other, and fans are claiming it's a fix. No, it's not a fix. It's not a fix. It was an exhibition match, and I watched it. And again, it was evident after the second round that Mike Tyson wasn't fit enough to carry on, and because his legs weren't in it. He couldn't chase over after Jake Paul, and Jake Paul kept running away from him because he didn't want to get hit. And so you had this kind of cat and mouse game of them running around the ring or walking around the ring, with Tyson getting progressively more tired. So yeah, it was a bit of a farce. And afterwards I thought, why didn't they just state it was an exhibition match? Just think about it. They could have done one of their YouTuber versus celebrities. They could have got a load of old boxers in, and your favourite YouTuber to fight them, and this could have been at the top of the card, an exhibition match. But they wanted to present it as it being real, and it wasn't real. And I wish I'd never stayed. I was very tired, still am very tired of it. So yeah, but yeah, there was talk that I think their licenses have been suspended pending an investigation, because everybody went, nah, that ain't boxing. And yeah, so that's that. That's the first. I just wanted to talk about it because I feel aggrieved because I watched it. Meanwhile, we're talking about, because they're saying it's fake, we're talking about faking it. Let's talk about more faking it. We're going to Italy. And there is a video clip, but of course there is an advert. There's always an advert, but it does let me skip it after 5 seconds. So we've got a little clip here of the Italians. Here they are. And yeah, there's a big controversy because look what's going on. Turn the camera off. There's a controversy because they reckon the Italian mamas aren't cooking up a storm. Oh no, they're faking it. Like Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, they're faking it, and they've been accused of not preparing fresh homemade pasta, and the delicacies that they are selling are out of a packet. Yeah, this is in the Italian city of Bari. It's famous for its orecchiette, otherwise known as little ears. It's a hand-shaped pasta, and yeah, there's a line of women in the old quarter selling their wares. But yeah, there's a place there called Orecchiette Alley. But yeah, Italian news site Quinto Potere has led a campaign against what it labels the fraud. The Orecchiette fraud, claiming that mass-produced pasta is sold alongside artisanal food to unsuspecting visitors. Remember, you can't spell artisanal without anal. Remember that, you cannot. It's and like we saw, there's he's saying, "Mamma mia!" What's that? We've lost the Italians again. They'll come back. They come back for the Genesis news. Indeed. That's what they come back for. So yeah, it's a controversy. Food bloggers and tourists also shared their dismay at being sold at what they've claimed to be dry, pale industrial pasta, and some have raised concerns over the hygiene of the women's kitchens. Have they washed their hands? But that's what makes it artisanal. Like I said, it can't be artisanal without anal. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, controversy, and here you go. This is what it looks like. There's so many varieties of Italian pasta, isn't there? It's overwhelming. Meanwhile, let's cheer up. Let's talk about more cheery news. This is the story of Dr. John Ellis. He was a talented vet, right? Here he is, and apparently he decided that, hearing about his rich customers who kept coming in, asking them to euthanize their healthy animals, right? It got to him, and yeah, he saw these brand new cars parked outside his surgery, but they wouldn't pay to, get treatment for their animals, so they have them euthanized. And yeah, he told his mother that clients couldn't afford to pay for treatment, often brought their pets in too late for anything to be done. Meanwhile, those that could just said, dispatch the hound. And yeah, and Dr. Ellis became increasingly stressed, right? And the stress had caused him to lead a double life, cheating on his long-term partner. Yeah. And in the end, he tricked a veterinary nurse to give him a deadly medication that you use to put down animals. He said he was using it to put down his friend's dog privately, and instead he took it himself. Yeah, he killed himself using the drugs he used to euthanize the pets. Yes, this was heard at Winchester Coroner's Court. Yeah. And he was experiencing considerable stress in his professional and private life, and here he is with a cake. He's with a cake, obviously in happier times. Now again, it's not funny. It's not fun. We're not making fun. Being a vet has the highest rate of suicide in any profession. Yeah. That is true, and that's why you don't. Because when my daughter said she wanted to be a vet, I said no, I don't, because you've got to put the animals down too. It's not just about saving them. And she was younger then. You've got to put them down, and that's what sends them over the edge. So yeah, there you go. What a terrible, terrible shame. But also, he shouldn't have cheated on his partner either. That's not nice. Stress don't make you do that. Does stress make you horny? Does it? Crikey. Never used to make me horny. Now I'm totally relaxed and feel nothing. So there you go. Don't be a vet. Meanwhile, are you an Apple fan? I am. In fact, I might have. I don't know if I have got one of these around somewhere in locked towers. Apple has discontinued a piece of equipment, causing its fans to wail and moan and gnash their teeth, like that. What have they stopped? They've stopped the Lightning to 3.5mm headphone jack adapter. That's so you can use wired headphones with any iPhone that doesn't have an headphone port. Again, never really understood why they got rid of the headphone port. So they can ponce another £9 off you to get an adapter. But of course, everyone uses Bluetooth. The move towards Bluetooth audio and Bluetooth headphones has seen that. But yeah, the adapter is unavailable in the UK or US. But however, you can get it in France, Denmark, Finland, Norway, and Sweden. But that's because they have limited stock, and people are bemoaning it. So I've got one around here somewhere. I'll just wait for it to be. I'm just going to wait for the prices to go up before I list it on eBay. Make a sweet, sweet fortune. It's going to put my kids through college. Meanwhile, a doctor, TikTok doctor, I guess, Dr. Sermid Metzer, he's got 254,000 Instagram followers. And he put people onto a 2-minute test which tells you if you've got autism or not. Now, I took the test earlier, It's called Reading the Mind in the Eyes, and basically, it's quite a good test actually. I should have kept the link up. Darren, you're so daft. You should have kept it up. Where is it? And what it does is it gives you a sample of eyes, and it asks you to tell, what are they doing, what emotion that they're extolling. Is it jealous, panicked, arrogant, or hateful? And you've got to log your answer and go through it. It's 36 questions. I scored 29, so I'm not autistic. That cheered me up no end. I'm just antisocial and weird. So there you go. It's alright, isn't it? So yeah. What else have we got? We've got health news. I don't know what it is. It's another deadly disease that's surging in young people. Right. Health chiefs sounded alarm over a startling rise in strokes among younger Brits. Data showed more than 12,500 people in their 50s. Young? I thought you meant, so I'm still young. Oh, thank God for that. Suffered a potentially fatal condition in 2023-2024. By comparison, the figure stood at just 8,000 in 2004-2005, making an increase of 55% in 2 decades. I wonder if it's got anything to do with the vid. It's probably the vid. I blame it. Or, I forgot, Brexit. And it's Brexit. Because all the people who want to remain, all the Remainers or Ramoners, have got high blood pressure, and that's what causes strokes. Now, again, I don't know if I've told you this, but I'm a type 2 diabetic, and that puts me at higher risk of stroke and heart disease and blindness and amputation and you name it. I've got a chance of getting it. I like my life, and they keep getting me to take my blood pressure, and they tried to put me on statins, and I wouldn't have it. I said no. I've got a border collie, and that makes me walk very, very fast, even when I don't want to. So yeah, everybody's got a stroke. I had a stroke last week, and if I'm good, the missus will let me have another one this week. Anyway, 6 signs of a stroke. Watching this is a bit like having a stroke, because suddenly you feel numbness down one side of your body. And if you watch for too long, you'll lose sight in one or both of your eyes. Listening to my voice will give you a sudden severe headache. And again, subscribing will leave you with sudden vertigo. And sometimes, watching me go on can give you difficulty in swallowing. And then, long-term viewers suffer sudden memory loss or confusion. Yes, they haven't got a stroke, they've just been watching me for too long. There we go. I'm glad we settled that one. Meanwhile, Nicole Kidman reveals she often wakes up crying and gasping, thinking about her own mortality, marriage and grief. She says this in a GQ interview. You sure it ain't waking up and remembering that you were married to Scientologist Tom Cruise? Meanwhile, government's electric vehicle targets will cost jobs, warn Nissan and Vauxhall. Demand has plunged for the electric vehicle, because people realise that in the cold, those batteries don't work properly. And again, if you're in the countryside, not so many charging points, and vehicles like tractors and heavy machinery don't really work with. You can't have electric tractor. I think electric tractor wasn't that a name of a progressive rock band in the early 70s? I'm sure it was. But yeah, Transport Secretary Louise Haigh and Business Secretary Joshua Reynolds will meet with the car industry on Wednesday to discuss ways to help the beleaguered firms meet the zero-emission vehicle mandate that are introduced this year. Yeah, many car makers just can't make targets, and they've got to adhere to a 22% threshold, and that if not, you get hit with a £15,000 fine per car below the target. And of course, car makers like Vauxhall and Nissan are going, This isn't good. This isn't good. And yeah, so meanwhile, this is the market share and sales of EVs versus petrol and diesel. And again, diesel. Yeah, I mean, I don't even drive, but this whole electric vehicle thing it's just all going to go wrong. Meanwhile, we have an amazing Mail Plus piece here, because they won't let go. They won't let go of her. Yes, Bonnie Blue returns. Why I'd happily let my 16-year-old son lose his virginity to Bonnie Blue, but there's one non-negotiable rule he must follow. I just thought of it. It can only come on her tits. There you go. I think I can say that. If I said it quick, I think I'll get past the... Look. You know she films it. And you know that your son losing his virginity will be viewed by as many people as can view the internet. You think that's a good idea? Molly Manning, who sounds like she's got a porn name too. Maybe she's got an OnlyFans. We'll never know because it's behind the Mail Plus paywall. No, you will damage your son. Just let him find a girlfriend. You know, this is why everything's ruined. Because in the old days, like when I was a lad, at 16, he might have got a part-time job. He might be working in Woolworths. He might have met girls. He might have gone out on a date with one. They might have gone to the cinema or gone for a pizza and fell in love, and and done the do. That's what it used to be like. Now, can't do it. You got to sleep with Bonnie Blue instead. Oh, why is the world so f***ed up? Really? I can't read that one. Oh, this is a good one. Do you like buying things at auction? Nicola Cassinelli, an Italian lawyer, paid £4,200 for a portrait of Sir Winston Churchill. Right? This is it here. It's one of the most famous portraits ever taken. And they thought, well, it's got to be a cheap copy. Yeah. So yeah, he bought the black and white 1941 photograph of Churchill, scowling down the lens, and it's named The Roaring Lion, for his small art collection back in 2022. And the 34-year-old was pleasantly surprised when his £4,200 bid was accepted, and 2 weeks later, after shelling £2,000, getting it through customs and shipped to generically, it belonged to him. He showed it off to his house guests, and he was really happy with the find. And again, since 2013, the image has been part of the Bank of England's £5 note. But yeah, neither the lawyer or the fine arts seller at Sotheby's knew that the picture was actually the original. Oh, he got a good one there and could be worth millions. Yeah, 3 months after the sale, Sotheby's phoned Mr. Cassinelli and asked him to keep it safe as an investigation was underway. And intrigued, he searched around online and discovered he was part of a massive heart heist mystery which had baffled people for years. Yeah, the picture, the original, had been nabbed from a hotel lobby of the Fairmont Chateau Laurier back in January 2022 and secretly trafficked to Europe. And yeah, when he spoke, he said it was like being in a film. And he was politely asked by the Canadian police if he would consider returning the piece after telling the whole story. As it hadn't been reported stolen at the time he bought it, it was considered a legitimate sale. All the legalities of it, because again, you're not allowed to buy something that is knowingly stolen. So say there's, I don't know, someone's guitar stolen, and they put out a big thing saying this guitar's stolen, and you buy the guitar, then you've got to return it. Same with cars and things like that. He said, I went online and bought a cheap $100 poster of the same photograph and put it in the same spot. I promised one day to go to Ottawa and see my photograph in a place where I know it should stay, because it had been gifted to the hotel by Yusuf Karsh, where it should rightly remain. Sotheby's refunded him and some of his legal expenses, but Mr. Calinelli lost a few €1,000. However, he said this didn't matter. He said there's an entire nation searching for it. I just felt right to return it. Being Italian, we have many pieces of art stolen from us. The Mona Lisa has never been given back by France, and I know how painful that can be for the populace. So there you go, he's going to return it, and here is the full-size picture. And Karsh was the fellow who took the picture. And yeah, so yeah, it's going to be returned to its place. And here is the portrait. But wow, what a mystery, eh? Fancy getting the actual photo. That's pretty impressive. What else have we go? Following on from our EV story, electronic vehicle manufacturer Fisker has gone bankrupt, and I reckon some of those who bought their cars could be left £70,000 out of pocket. Yeah, it went bankrupt in June, and I remember they was having a massive sale of electronic vehicles. Electronic, I keep saying electronic, it's electric, but I like the idea of them being electronic too, don't you? So yeah. Got a load about I'm a Celebrity. I'm sorry, we watched the first episode and I'm probably in now. Because, you know. Yeah, meanwhile, oh yeah, Joe Biden, you know, Sleepy Joe, he decided, he said, F Donald Trump, I'm going to start World War III. Yeah, because he has signed off and allowed Ukraine to use the American missiles. It's a complete U-turn of American policy. On the eve of him handing over the presidency to Trump, he thought, you know what, I'll F it up for him. I'll completely screw it up for him and let Putin start World War III. Well done, Biden, well done. Everybody is looking on aghast. It's like, but hey, it'll be fine, isn't it? It'll be fine. Good news, everybody. Energy bills are going to rise again in January because of the Ofgem's price cap. They reckon it's going to rise and go back to. They reckon there's no chance, of prices going back to pre-COVID levels. Oh no, they never go down again. They never go down. Never go down. Meanwhile, there's been a warning over 2 common household appliances after a pair of deaths have been linked to a pair of deaths. What are the appliances? Faulty tumble dryer, right? And what's the other one? So we did tumble dryer, and and the quartz kitchen worktops. It's not really appliance, is it? But yeah, tumble dryers you should be aware of, and never leave your tumble dryer running unattended because they can catch fire because of the heat and the element, and if there's fluff and dust inside. Yeah, there you go. So just warning you, I could have told you that. What else have we got? Paige Roberts. This is, I don't know, a stupid day in stupid. Yeah, stupid story. The healthcare worker details how she almost died after using skinny jabs that she bought on social media. Yeah, £80 jab she bought on Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, she decided she wanted to lose weight, right? And she had reason because she had a polycystic ovary syndrome, which left her bloated in the stomach area. And so it concerned her. So she tried exercise and starving herself. It didn't work. Well, it wouldn't because she's got a condition. So she decided to go onto Facebook, like you do, and and paid £80 for 4 injectables, which claimed to suppress the user's appetite. It's meth. Meth. It does the same thing. Crystal meth. You just you don't want to eat. She said, Miss Roberts said after her first jab she began to feel dizzy and nauseous and was soon unable to keep down water without throwing up. There, you're going to lose weight. And after 3 days of vomiting, she went to hospital where she claimed doctors said her jab could have been laced with drugs due to her dilated pupils and elevated heart rate. The doctors said that many counterfeit jabs are just speed, and they fear that the jabs could have been laced with cocaine. And I don't know about you, but she's not. I don't think she's fat, you know. But if you have got polycystic ovary syndrome or any condition that affects the stomach area, unfortunately you're going to look, a bit swollen, and yeah. So don't buy your drugs off Facebook. Oh, here we go. Laura Brand. She talks about the 7 steps that you could become, the 7 stages of becoming a serial killer. Okay, I wonder if right, so let's see. Phase 1, fantasy. Here is Laura Brand. And she's talking. And she says, first one is fantasy. It's when a person drifts from reality to fantasy, becomes obsessed with thoughts involving control, dominance and violence. Phase 2, planning. It's where you start planning it. How are you going to kill them? How are you going to get rid of the bodies? That kind of thing. Come on, we've all done it, haven't we? Come on, you must have thought about it. No. Phase 3, hunting. It's where you stalk your victim. Oh. Phase 4, capture. This is just stating the obvious. This is how you do it. This is where you abduct the person. Phase 5, murder. Phase 6, disposal. And phase 7, rebirth. This is afterwards, because you get that rush, the rush of adrenaline, and everything's firing, and afterwards is a come down, and you get a bit sad again, and then you think, I can't wait to do that again. Have I said too much? But yeah, those are the 7 stages of becoming a serial killer. There you go. Hey. What else have we got? Just try and find. Oh, there we go. I don't know if I agree about this. Dale Vince, who's an eco-tycoon and a vegan Labour donor, says that tobacco-style health warnings should be put on bacon. I'll take the risk. Prostate cancer never tasted so good. But again, if you become a vegan, you could end up looking like somebody's lesbian granny. I don't want that to happen. Bacon for the win, I say. Bacon for the win. But yeah, here's one for chicken breast fillets. Animals suffer when you eat meat. Yeah, it's the fear that makes it so tender. Delish. I'm sorry, but those chickens, if chickens were the size of men, they'd eat us. They'd eat us, no problem. Yeah. What else have we got? Just trying to see if there's any. Is that a good one? Is that good? No, can't do that one. Can't do that one. Oh yeah, this is This is important news. Oh, that's the postman. Won't be a minute. Talk amongst yourselves. Calm down. Hey, off you pop. Go on. There we go. Sorry about that. Postman. A lot of parcels to be collected. There was quite a few. It's like 6 today. Yeah, 6. So, yeah, this is the story of Vladimir Shiklerov. He's a top Russian ballet star. And here he is, doing his business, doing his ballet stuff, you know. And unfortunately, what did he do? He criticised Putin. Yeah, he criticised Putin, the 39-year-old who'd starred at the Metropolitan Opera in New York and Royal Opera House in London. He plunged 60 foot to his death. Yeah, so yeah, there's a little tribute to him there. But yeah, he had criticised Putin during his time, and just Putin's reaction. His comrade should have used stairs. There we go. So yeah, so let's just take a moment to think about the ballet dancer. It was a leap too far, perhaps. Yeah, all right. Okay, let's. I don't know if I've got any animal. Oh, we do have, actually, we have a very important update. Very important update. Do you remember the story of Carrie Keats? This lady here. She was on her deathbed and she tore up her will. Do you remember? She tore up her £800,000 will on her deathbed, and the relatives were arguing that she didn't destroy it because it wasn't completely torn. She'd like torn it halfway through. Yeah, and they were arguing that it was 3/4 of the way through, and they were asking because it wasn't a complete tear. It wasn't. Well, the court has ruled, right? The court has ruled. Are you ready for this? This was a big family drama, you know. But ping. But yeah, Deputy Master John Linwood, who was making the ruling over the court case, ruled in favour of Mrs. Oakley, her sister, in the landmark case, finding that Kerry had wished to disinherit the cousins and done so lawfully by making a big tear in the will. So remember, if you're on your deathbed and they've pissed you off, you can tear that will up. You don't have to make a big tear, but you get halfway through, that stands. He said, in my judgment, there was actual tearing combined with intent. Kerry did sufficiently destroy the will, as it was entirely torn in half, as she intended. There you go. Very important story, that, because we were following that one, weren't we? Yeah, okay. Okay, we've got an hour. I found an animal story at the weekend. Where are we? Where is this? This is down in Cornwall. So Andrew he was probably there. He was probably the guy. But yeah, down in Cornwall, they had to use a crane to rescue a cow. Yes. Chloe the cow had got into a bit of trouble, and so they had to hoist her up the cliff. I mean, it's easy. You could easily tumble over that, couldn't you? And here she is, being hoisted. It's a bit of a slow process, as you can see. Could take a bit of a time. But trust me, they do get her back up on the cliff side. Yeah. This is near a farm near Cornwall. A cow named Chloe was sedated, put into a harness, and raced slowly back up from where she fell on Sunday. And they do have a picture of Chloe back in the paddock, on her feet after the sedative wore off. Yeah, she found the whole incident amusing. Well, sod you then. I don't write any of this. I make it up as I go along. Shall we see if there's anybody in today? 6 people in, 2 people like it. That means 4 people are watching it because they're masochists, because they like sticking needles into their eyes. Oz has arrived, and he's got the CD. Oh, good. I'm glad that got there. Okay. Clive's in. He said, afternoon. Oz says, I still haven't watched the boxing match. Shame they couldn't both lose. Well, they did. They did lose. It was the worst thing. I mean, there was a women's match on beforehand, and that was brutal. I mean, there was a bit of skin hanging off and everything, and that should have been stopped. In the old days, I remember in boxing in the old days, if there was a real cut above the eye and it was flapping like that, they used to stop the match for so they didn't lose their eyeballs, didn't lose the use of the eye. But yeah, it was not good. Payne's in his afternoon and Grant's his evening. It's been a long day for him. He's quitting already. He's hitting the whiskey. Alex says, totally agree, Darren. I watched the fight. What a joke. Caught the last 3 rounds of the women. They were far more entertaining if the wrong woman won. No, the right woman won, because the Irish contestant, actually her punches hit, and she hit with power, whereas the other one was just flailing around. Majority of her punches didn't hit or were blocked by the other woman's glove. So, no, the Irish woman won. And they kept saying, oh, she's headbutting. No, she was pushing her back to take control of the match. They were just they wanted the Americans to win. So Alex says, as useless as Tyson was, 20 million for 16 minutes ain't bad. A Supergrass saying they're only in it for the money. And Zappa too. But yeah, I mean, but they could have done the same thing and just said it was an exhibition match, and people would have paid. They could have put on a card, like I say, they could have done the YouTuber shtick and brought in a load of, old boxers, Evander Holyfield, maybe Lennox Lewis, loads of people, Frank Bruno, who remembers him, and brought in a load of old boxers, Chris Eubank, and just did exhibition matches, and they could have made it fun instead of creating it was a travesty. It was a travesty. Look, I don't like the Paul brothers, right? And as they said on the show, he hasn't fought an actual boxer yet. Everyone he's fought has been very carefully selected, and that's fine. But let's not pretend he's a boxer. He ain't. I mean, he looked out of condition. He looked flabby and out of condition, himself. Even he was out of puff, and he was 27, But I don't know. I've not watched him box before, but I wasn't impressed. And Tyson was just, he could have taken on someone his own age. I think Tyson would have been perfectly fine, fighting another, was it 58-year-old? That would have been fine, but he just didn't have the legs. He couldn't chase a young fella around, and it's just, I wish I'd never stayed up. Okay then. So. So, anyway, we'll stop it there. That was today's news in all its various forms, and hopefully you enjoy it if you didn't. And we'll do this all again soon. Remember, there's only one more thing left to say. That's killing the channel one video at a time. You've got to drink it up. Ta-ta.